Hey Pisces, this is your bi-weekly tarot reading. So we are taking a look at the period of time from the new moon on January 11th to the full moon on January 25th. So this new moon is going to be in Capricorn. You see, I was deciding there. It'll be in Capricorn. This new moon will be in Capricorn, and then the full moon will be in Leo. So that's the period of time that we are taking a look at, which means that we are working with the waxing energies. And if this is your first time joining me, welcome, hello, hi. These bi-weekly tarot readings are meant to be a guide to help us work with instead of against the current as we move through each of the moon phases. So that we're not swimming upstream and we're working with the energy to the best benefit. And also in these readings, I am taking a look at what area of life is being pointed out. Where are you being directed to put your time, energy, and attention into, not to neglect all other areas of your life, but more so, where can you put extra, just like some extra tender, like loving care, the TLC, into a particular area of your life that would, if you were to do so, benefit all areas of your life. Sometimes the areas of our life where we should focus our attention, we don't realize they seem counterintuitive for where we should put our time, energy, and attention because we're so focused on, I don't know, money, career, family, something. And so if it's anything other than like the main things, we can tend to think like, well, I don't have time for that. I'll do that when I have time, or I'll do that when I have extra energy or the bandwidth. So that's what we're looking at here. Now, I just put out a video that I will link at the end here that is for the new moon. I would say it's not just for this new moon. I would say this particular new moon is setting us up for 2024. So if you have been struggling to or trying to work with like resolutions or goals or setting your plans for all the different quarters of this year, I highly recommend going to look at this video. This of the new moons, not all new moons are ideal and beneficial for being able to work with the energies. This one is. So definitely check out that video. In this video though, we're talking about how we can work with the new moon energy. And so I recommend coupling that with the other video. So we're looking at the 9th house for you. And the 9th house has to do with, yes, exploration, as it says here. I think it's a decent keyword. But what we're really looking at is kind of like expansion, right? We're looking at the expansion of our beliefs, of our minds, of our like actual journeys, like physical journeys. So going to far off lands, going to foreign places, dealing with foreign people, like interacting with people that are foreign to where we are. It doesn't mean another language, but it can. Anything where there's like a very long journey to get there. I think it's interesting in the States. This is something that I'm still trying to like actually do some research on, but I think it's really interesting that we have this like, such a massive piece of land that going from one side to the other actually does feel like a journey in and of itself. So, by the way, if you hear that in the background, that's my cat. She's vying for my attention right now. So, anyways, so yes, so foreign places, foreign lands, foreign people, definitely dealing with like journeys in that way, but also, like learning, being a student and teaching, right? So and I would say this is like more specialized education. Some people say higher education. I would say that it could be like the normal system for higher education, and it can also be specializing in a particular area, right? And also moving from student to sharing your knowledge as well. Other thing I will say about this is it has to do with beliefs, right? And so some people might say religion. I think that's a dated term that doesn't sit well with a lot of people, including myself. And so I would say your beliefs in terms of like something spiritual that has to do with like monotheistic or pantheistic beliefs, and also your philosophies, your worldview, right? So that's what this all has to do with. So seems like you're in an interesting space for this particular 2-week period of time. And why not? Why not zoom out? You know, why not zoom out and get the big picture and really look at what you want to create for your life. Perhaps you're planning a move, perhaps you're planning travel, perhaps you're planning to expand yourself and hone your skills and therefore become a student, or to start to move from student to teacher or something like that, right? So maybe your worldview in light of what's happened over the last like 3 years or even the last year has shifted you in some way, and maybe what you related to previously is different than where you are now. And perhaps in the examination of your beliefs or your worldview, those things might shift how you approach your relationships, your family, your career, where you live, what you choose to do, everything, right? Yourself. This could be, it has a profound possibility in many possibilities, actually, profound possibilities, plural, in your life. Now, the spiritual advice that we have coming through with that is like, definitely the Queen of Wands. I would say this is very much trusting your intuition, really being in a space of creativity, confidence, owning your charisma, and being very like warm. Now, she is notoriously known as like in a very positive sense, the witch. She's very magical. She's the one you want at your party. She's just very warm and like intelligent and boisterous and bright and radiant and warm and like the sun, and we see like the sunflower, and we see certain things that are represented here. And so with that being the guidance that comes through, I would say, how do you relate to these qualities that come through with this particular character, right? The queens are nourishing in their active kind of role, right? When we're looking at the hierarchy, whatever your beliefs are, there are just like a lot of things. And it's like, we have to remember that these systems were created at very different time periods than where we are now. And so when we look at the role of the queen and who she represented and what she was, there is this nurturing, nourishing quality that each of the queens has. They all have this different quality because they all represent different elements. And she is fire, she is intuition, she is inspiration, she is creativity, she is courage, she is, bright, right? And so when it comes to the exploration of your mind, your beliefs, or very physically out in the world, how do you relate to these qualities? Are you lit up? Do you feel tied to this? Does it bring you into a space of these particular characteristics? And I would love for you to maybe ponder that, to maybe ask yourself those questions and see how maybe these things, if they have changed. I just noticed there's a lot of noise when I do this with my bracelets. If it has changed, how does this perhaps shift the trajectory of other areas of your life? Because remember, we're looking at the linchpin that is going to ripple out and affect all of these other areas of your life. So that's what I would say, and I would definitely, again, recommend going to look at the astrological highlight video that I have, because, again, it's not just for January 11th. It really does talk about this as how this sets us up going forward. So I would marry this with this information, especially if you relate to it. And if you have, please give the video a like. It really does help me as I am building this channel. Please send this out to another Pisces so that they are able to have this information as well. I am trying to build this channel. I know I mentioned at the end of 2023 that after the holidays, within a month or two, I would be putting out different content. That is still on track. Looks like it will still take a month or two for that to kind of like things to settle so that I can really put out that new content. I'm excited about it. I hope that you guys are digging it and gonna like it. I've been asking for a lot of feedback, and so I'm excited to put out some new information. So if you haven't subscribed, please do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.